Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to connect an extension lead on a extension socket. As you can see on the table there, I've already placed the tools that we'll be using to complete the job. First things first, we're gonna open up the box, take all out the screws that close shut the extension socket. And the other easy way of opening it would be using a drill. You can really run faster than using a typical screwdriver. This small white piece that I'm holding is the sleeve that goes over the cable that protects it from scratching over the what do you call this, the extension socket housing. And this black part is where your plug goes through to source power from the actual socket. This one is live. There are indications on the board, on the outside casing, labeled L, E, and N. L for live, E for F, and N for neutral. I've tried highlighting them using a permanent marker, even though it's not available. It's not visible. And this one that I'm loosening is a clamp that prevents a wire from slipping out of the socket. You need to loosen it up beforehand, and after fitting your cables on that black box, you're going to use that clamp to hold it on the socket box. Like I've said, it prevents it from slipping out. So right now I'm going to show you how to measure where you're gonna make your cut on the cable. More or less, I've placed it within the box. The length of the part that I'm going to work in fits within the box from where I'm going to clamp it. And this is what I am going to use just to mark more or less where I need to make the incision. I've just nipped it a bit. I didn't cut it all the way. I'll be using my utility knife to make a fine incision around the cable. When you bend it over, it will automatically break, as you can see on the video. Pull it off to expose these three wires: the neutral, the live, and the earth. And you will see how I am going to place them within the casing and to determine where to make a cut. That is the neutral, the live, and this one is the earth, and this one, the blue one, is the neutral. So inside the box you will see there are 3 screws representing these points that I've mentioned: the neutral, live, and earth. So the earth goes in the middle, the neutral goes on the right, on the left hand side, and the live goes on the left hand side. You see how I determine the length. I'm going to strip. Right now I'm only marking where I'm going to strip off the cable, and then the earth one, since it's right next to the entry point of the cable, it's not gonna be long as these other ones. I'm using my side cutter to strip off the outside insulation, and I'm gonna cut off this one first because it's pretty long, but I didn't cut beyond the mark where I've made my mark for stripping. And then I'll go next to on the next one, which is the live wire. Strip it off and prepare my cables to fit nicely on the terminals where I'm going to tie them off. And just in a moment you will see how do I go about doing it. These cables are pretty much longer, so I just know them by heart, the length. I'm gonna bend them over to hook on the screw points, you see, and then I'm gonna do the same thing as well on on the earth cable. I've started on the brown one, which is live, and went on to the blue one, which is neutral. Then now I'm on the earth one. Most people, when they assemble these boxes, they usually leave out the earth terminal, and it is wrong because that won't have safety mechanism. Basically, that short one, its purpose is to protect should there be any fault or something, maybe a wire touches where it shouldn't touch. Usually it will trip on the main box to protect either you or your appliances. So make sure every time when you assemble these boxes, you also include your earth wire. It's there for a purpose, but like I said, most people would leave it behind, because sometimes even when your wiring is wrong, it definitely is gonna trip on your DB box. So when you take it off, it's more like bypassing the safety mechanism. It will continue working, but now you work without safety. And then now I'm going to put on my wires on the black box that distributes the power to the plug, the 3-pin plug that you usually plug on that socket. Make sure when you put your wires, you tighten them very well, because if they are loose, they're gonna cause poor connection. They will give you poor connection, resulting in melting those terminals. So every time when you put them in, make sure that you tighten them very well, and you can follow up with the video. Make sure you put the cable between the washer and the actual terminal within the box. It shouldn't be outside the screw head. It should be between the washer and the actual terminal inside the box, and tighten it very well, like I am doing right now. And the next one, it will be the earth wire. I'm basically gonna do the same thing that I've done on these other ones, and you see, I thought it would be visible. The labels on the terminal on the block would be visible for you to see, but they differ from manufacturer to manufacturer, and even the layout, it differs. Some you would find them different from the one I am doing right now. So what you really need to take into consideration is the labeling, the earth, the neutral, and the live. Everything must go where it's meant to go. You shouldn't mix up wires, otherwise you will be creating a bomb. This is how it looks now. I'm trying to run everything nicely so that it doesn't block the way of the plug. For when you push in the plug, it shouldn't be in the way, because now you will be creating another problem for later. So I'm preparing to assemble it, the what do you call this, the socket box. You remember that sleeve that I've shown you? Don't forget to put it in its place, as it protects from the wire from scratching against the socket's casing. And now I'm tightening up that clamp that I've told you about earlier, that holds the wire, that prevents the wire from slipping out. As you know, these extensions will be used in many occasions, or in many applications rather. Some people would just pull without considering that there's serious electricity running through the wires. So that thing is ideally there for somehow your own protection. If you don't put it, you run the risk of getting yourself electrocuted should it get loose. Make sure all the sides are neatly in contact. They are all in contact. There are no gaps, or there's no wire stuck in between the edges. Then put back all your screws. Usually there are 4 screws that holds up the box together. I guess up to this point I'm done with assembling the extension socket box. So the next step is to show you how the plugs goes over the socket box. You see here, everything should align. When you look at the plug, at the bottom of the plug, there's also these labels that are shown on the socket box: live, neutral and earth. As you plug on the socket, they should correspond. You shouldn't see the terminal, the live terminal going on neutral terminal on the socket. Everything should correspond. Live must go